The 8 locust years, which we do not want really to talk about, have become, every day are receding into, the dimness of history.
Yeah.
And why is it so? Because we, happily, we're going through the experience of a governance, an order that is, even though we do have reasons to begin to ponder and speculate, even though some of us are firmly of the belief that we lost 8 years.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are inspired by, and we are relieved that today, in 3 years, we can now turn around and look eagerly forward to the next 5 years.
Okay.
Because the person that is on the saddle is beginning, and he appears driven towards the realization of the dreams of the founding fathers of our society.
Okay.
And you can see that from the spread of development through the construction projects that are going on. It is not a concentric or single center of development. It is widespread. It is widespread from my home in Mitu to Eket to Korabasi. There is no difference. The same level of investment in providing infrastructure is spread statewide. So we can proudly say that we have reasons to look eagerly and confidently to the next 5 years, if 3 years, as our people would say. If these 3 years are this exciting, what about the next 5 years?
Getting into me back.
So it goes without question that Godswill Akpabio, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, will receive the massive mandate of the people of the state.
First, that of the party.
The party. Well, I don't know why. Who is the party? I like to remind a lot of people who sit down and write all manner of things that they forget that this is still a federal system.
That's right.
That the federal system means, a concert of virtually independent units. So they write petitions to Abuja. They should write petitions to the House of Assembly.
Okay.
Because there's nothing, no matter the number of petitions, that even if they had any iota of fact, there is nothing that the center can do to us here. It is only the House of Assembly within the context of our federal system that can do anything. And in any case, why do we need to bother about the number of petitions that are filed in Abuja? Because most of them are essentially tendentious falsehood. Some of them, border on the insanity. There are some of them border on the insane. Because you believe that no matter how aggrieved one is over an issue, they still will have their protests and their seeking of redress couched within decency, couched in decency. I am a leader of the people in this state. I am part of the leadership, and we are trying to evolve responsible and responsive leadership. No one single individual can anoint himself, as spokesman, especially for either one section or the other. And it is a tragedy that a man who just a few years back talked about himself as a champion of unity in this state should now be the one lifting up a totem in salute to ethnicity. And if I'm a prince of the land,
which you are,
which I am, I do not know what exclusivity they have and what invests in them the right to claim, to claim any investments of to claim any investment of the right to speak for my people. At the right time, we will sort these things out. But your question was very clear. Is Godswill Akpabio, the governor of Akwa Ibom, His Excellency, going to receive the mandate of first the party,
that's it,
and second the people? My answer is yes. That's why I look at, even from the firmament, I don't see any credible challenge to him. We are also, privy to the fact that there have been those who have gone around falsely claiming that unless the party will not win elections here if Governor Akpabio is winning. That is an embrace of mindless falsehood, and it is a tragedy. It is really a pity that people have allowed, certain individuals have allowed their political aspirations and plans to consume them, more or less. So they have allowed it to move from reality to obsession. And seeing as it is today, the facts are very clear that they are failing. It has also reduced them to victims of hatred. You can imagine the mindset of a former governor who could go out and publish that part of his grouse is that the sitting governor does not consult him in the matter, in instances of policy formulation and decisions about government. And my simple question is, where in the Constitution of this country is there a provision that requires that a sitting governor must, of necessity, take leave of the immediate past or his predecessor to embark on the execution of his policies? I I think that when I saw that in the press, I then knew that obsession had
taken over reality.
Not just taken over reality, it had also acquired, quite pitiably, you know, the poison of misplaced responsibility.
Okay, distinguished Senator, from the way you sound, given the discussion I had with the common man I said the other time, and given the kind of comment you've also made on the man, that some politicians in this state, just like I said, play politics to a certain level, and when they speak, you just have no reason but to believe that man. If you say what you've just said, I think quite we should be more emboldened, to be sure that the first hurdle will eventually be crossed, and that they will be waiting to celebrate their bride when the time comes. But let's take for granted that all these things, all these excellent things that I've said about the governor are things to go by. For instance, the other time even the president had to give him an award and made some comments in the course of presenting the award to him. So many newspaper organizations have honored him as Man of the Year, Emerging Tiger, and all of that. Let's take for granted that all these things can really count. Let's take for granted he becomes governor in 2011. What are those things you would suggest that he takes up? That he takes up when he's eventually sworn in. You talked about when he told you he wants to face industrialization. Do you absolutely agree with him that should be the next priority area for our people?
It goes without question. It is a logical next step. You have created the infrastructure, the facilities to attract investment into the place. You have also created an environment that is, that ensnares capital. The next best thing will be the next logical step or certainly be creating employment, creating wealth, ensuring that the exertions of government, has indeed yielded the goals that were set out from the beginning.
Okay.
The implantation of a greater society. Today, what we see is a government caring and more obviously committed to the citizenry.
In case you've just joined us, we've gone far on this special series entitled In Just 3 Years. It is a special package put together by the Bridge TV show to celebrate the 3 years of uncommon strikes that the state has witnessed since May 29, 2007, when His Excellency Chief Dr. Godswill Obodo-Pabi was sworn in as the governor of the state. And I have in my hands distinguished senator of the Federal Republic, former, as a matter of fact, the pioneer National Public Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, and now the Vice Chairman of ARIC-A, distinguished Senator Anietie Okon. Yes, 3 years down the line, is there any policy decision that the governor has taken? Is there anything he has done as governor which has fallen short of your expectation as a person?
Fallen short? Well, I don't like to contradict. I've never
been known to speak from both sides of your mouth.
It has been very clear.
Okay.
When I said here,
is he a perfect governor?
That he has surpassed expectations.
Okay.
He has met and overcome the challenges of governance. I've read here an article that was called from the Sun. I will read part of it again when I think it's appropriate.
And written by a non-indigent.
It's written by somebody, I don't even know who wrote it. I just saw it in this magazine, and it struck me that somebody from outside the state could be so enthusiastic about the developments here. I have said that in the opening that we had expectations, but that the speed and the energy that we have seen, the speed, the energy that has been deployed towards the realization of the promises the governor made to the people of the state leaves quite a number of us speechless, and we are the happier for it. At least he's shown focus, he's shown himself not to be daunted by the challenges of service, and he dreams big about Akwa State, and appears to be driven by the desire to see those dreams transformed into reality. And like I also mentioned earlier, that speaking with him, I see a man who would wish that he carried a wand, a magic wand in his hand, and he could make a pronouncement, say, let's have light, and there will be light.
All right, I think that we'll get close to taking it to its limit. We've been talking with distinguished Senator Anietie Okon, pioneer National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in the entire country, that is, and one-time Senator of the Federal Republic. He still carries on with that nomenclature even up till date. He qualifies to be referred to an elder statesman because of his antecedents, because of his pedigree, and because of the things that he's always been known to be passionate about. And it's a man who is not given to wasting words or mincing them. And so whenever he says a thing, he absolutely means that which he says. Whenever he takes a stand, it doesn't matter what dissenting voices convey. He sticks to that which he believes. And at this, especially given what we had at the time, that it looked as if there was a frosty relationship between Senator Anietie Okon and the governor, when some issues came up with the MOU that Arik A signed with the state government. I never would have expected that distinguished senator, you would still toe this path you are towing. And I think it would be out of place for me to even take you back then. How did you react? Because I know, without being told, that if there's anybody that facilitated the coming of Arik into Akwa Ibom, you were at the forefront. In the course of time, we learned there was some kind of frosty relationship between the state government and the company that led to a withdrawal of Arik from Ibom Airport. Now, were you at the center of that which was portrayed as some controversy or crisis?
Yeah, I was. I mean, and I do believe that aside from the fact that there was a misinterpretation of the MOU by some functionaries of my company, and also, particularly I was miffed by the fact that representatives of the company, who incidentally were British, when this MOU was negotiated, could not stand up to the articles of that agreement when all they needed to have said was, yes, this was what we agreed to. So they were, behind. I wasn't there, so the facts as presented to the company were not exactly the facts that leading from the build-up to the MOU. And they were also, this is outside of, of this, there was also some form of political pressure that may have also, fouled the entire exercise. Because you must understand that what is the gain of Akwa Ibom International Airport will necessarily be the loss of some other airports here.
Okay.
So undercurrents.
Okay. Okay.
Undercurrents from that may have fed what I consider the rash action that was taken in my absence. But I do salute the response, the courage of the governor. Because at one time it looked as if there was an attempt to bluff the state. And it happened at a critical moment. At a high, it happened at a very critical moment when, at the height of the season, when we had brought in thousands of Akwa Ibom indigents from all parts of the country and also especially from abroad. And I salute the government of Akwa Ibom in the way they responded to that challenge and to the bluff. Okay. And in any case, it was obvious. The governor was regularly in touch with me, and he knew where I stood. That for me, the interest of the state came first.
Okay.
So, and in all his actions, he gave full backing. We gave full backing to his actions, and we know the true story today of what my company, Eric, feels over what you will call a mismanaged situation. But somehow, I believe that lessons have been learned.
Yes, sir.
And
okay, we pray they make such effort properly, because in the history of the Akwa Ibom International Airport, Arike will always, have a very good place.
At all times, you must understand. At all times, for some of us, in spite of our, personal interest, what has been paramount and has guided our life have been, the greater interests of the people of Akwa Ibom State.
It's good I hear this, because the series of rumors, whenever things like that happen, the rumor mill will always be action soaked.
Let me say one thing. I'm not someone that is fazed by rumors. I step over those things. With a jackboot. I'm not somebody that will be dented by small talk, petty talk. And I am not like Governor Akpabio, who, because of his makeup, because of his hat, I mean, if I put it simply that, is concerned about being politically and even humanly correct
at all times.
At all times. So he will bend over backwards, you know, to explain or, you know,
rationalize it.
Coax people into, you know, walking the straight path. Yeah, as for me, you either walk the straight path or you don't. I'm not a fisher of men, especially men that refuse to see, you know, the truth, refuse to accept the truth. So I did. It came to me that a lot of stories were being, you know, bandied over the state, but those people, for those who have known me and from my very young days, have striven at all times to be a champion of the interests
of the state,
of this my people.
Okay, so with the 30 billion naira investment package that was to come from Arike, and I think you publicly announced that during the inaugural flight landing, with this relationship, is it still tenable?
It will be. I mean, that was the moment. It will be.
Okay.
At the moment, we are working on part of that investment. It isn't as if we hold a monopoly of that investment. Was to provide a befitting terminal.
Okay.
You know, it was confirmed by the chairman of the company when we paid a formal visit to the government. And it is unfortunate that we had that impasse at the end of 2009, which I have, you know, publicly stated was not properly managed, because those who were in position to inform the company, you know, properly did not put the facts on the table very clearly and misled the company. They have paid individually for that. They've since been sacked. They've since been fired. And the company has a responsibility to rehabilitate its standing.
Relationship with the government. Okay.
All
right, sir. We are pretty soon we're going to take it to its limit. Distinguished Senator, I must thank you for your time. But a few months to the elections, what's advice to the people of Akwa Ibom State? What message to the man of the moment, the governor?
I'm part of Akwa Ibom.
Yes.
Within my sphere of influence, there is no question about which direction we're heading. That is a reconfirmation of the mandate we gave in 2007. Because we've seen the stirrings, what do you say, development is beginning to stir. There's a new growth stirring. And we believe that it is only consistent with what is rational, what is true, that since we can never have too much of a good thing, we should continue to have this good thing while, you know, it is constitutionally, you know, permissible. And growth is guaranteed. Because I believe that our political arrangements will be such that even after 2015, the successor governments would be challenged by the achievements of this present regime. I think Akwa Ibom people, God willing, are in for very great times.
Thank you, distinguished Senator. It's been fun to have had distinguished Senator Anietie Okon on the program on a special series entitled In Just 3 Years, put together to celebrate the transformation that the state has witnessed because Chief Godswill Akpabio has been governor since May 29, 2007. My name is Itoro, and I must thank you again, distinguished Senator, for...
Yeah, just one last one.
Yes. Okay, another
just last one.
Okay.
From the sermon of Choma.
Okay, great sermon.
Ubeche. It says, as we journey from Uyo to Eket, all through the innovating towns and communities, I saw sure signs and signs of a state in the throes of modernity. I saw a state that has broken free from the manacle of development stasis. I saw a people full of hope and zeal. Hope that their worst days are over, and zeal to play their part in the building of a new Akwa Ibom. At every twist and at every turn, there is always something to signpost development. Choma Ubeche.
Okay, on that note, we must thank distinguished Senator Anietie Okon. He does not just speak his mind, but he's passionate about some of the good things that others have been saying, especially that one from Choma. Choma is not Akwa Ibom-like. It's not an Akwa Ibom name, they say, for someone to be so passionate about what's going on in the States and say that much about the governor. I think we as a people who are the direct beneficiaries of the transformation he has brought to us since May 29, 2007 should brace up to the challenge, to celebrate him, to identify with him, and to continue to let this bright sparkle and shine. And once again, I must thank you, distinguished Senator.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's how we leave it. Till some other time.